Yeah, we're locked in as a backup fighter. You know, I've been calling for it. I said I wanted it. Just had to make sure the hand was all good. So we all good. We locked in. We got the clearance to fight. The UFC's on board. Everyone's on board. So I'll be at UFC 280 to make weight. And yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see what happens. If someone doesn't make it, I'm there to save the day.
Volkanovski has doubled down. He has doubled down on his position that he's going to be the backup fighter for Oliveira versus Islam. That is awesome. And if you guys are fight fans and you're Volkanovski fans, you need to take this to social media. Truly, truly, you have an obligation. For all that Volk has done for you, for the fact that Volk is stepping forward, the Volk is demanding this, for the fact that he's doing it right, for the fact that he's making himself vulnerable. What happened to the hand surgery? What happened to he's out?
Hello guys, how you all doing today? Welcome to Oliveira TV. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video, we are going to talk about the UFC 280. Alexander Volkanovski is now a backup fighter to Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. If you guys don't know, UFC 280 is headlining Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. They are having the fight next week Saturday, and it will be a tremendous fight. And Alexander Volkanovski in his YouTube channel came out saying that he's a backup fighter to Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. I don't really know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of people will say it's good, a lot of people will say it's bad. You know, he just came out from a fight, from a very good fight with Max Holloway. You know, he beat Max Holloway 3 times. And he's a featherweight king, and he's a pound for pound king. Dude is on top of the food chain right now, and no one out there in the featherweight division can beat Alexander Volkanovski. He's been doing well in that division so far. So he is the backup fighter to Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. According to him, he traveled with the crew, he's training like he's fighting for a big fight. So he's training, he's doing well. UFC is paying him to do it, right? So he's getting paid to do what he's doing, to train. You know, he's gonna weigh in on Friday, he's gonna do whatever it takes, right? Just in case one of the fighters didn't make weight, one of the fighters maybe got injured, because we know that UFC fighters, they have a tendency of missing weight or getting injured last minute, right? So UFC, they don't want to lose so much money you know, preparing an event like this, because it's a huge event. Like, a lot of people will watch it. Like, a lot of people want to see Islam Makhachev, you know, a sambo wrestler, versus Charles Oliveira, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fight, right? It will be a tremendous fight. You know, Islam Makhachev is trained by Khabib, is trained by a legend who has 29-0, haven't lost before in the UFC. So he's been trained by him. And Charles Oliveira, on the other hand, has been destroying the lightweight division. He destroys so many top contenders out there, Justin Gaethje, you know, the list goes on and on. So UFC, they're trying to secure, you know, their bag, they're trying to secure themselves. They don't want to blow things up like that. In a financial perspective, I understand, you know, it's good to have a backup. Usman versus Kobe Covington, like when they were fighting, they had the backup. They had Luke as a backup. So it's not a bad thing to have a backup, right? But my problem is, like, what if the backup fighter loses, right? What happens to the backup fighter, right? That's the question, because Alexander Volkanovski is on top of the food chain right now. You cannot give a 2 weeks training camp for him to prepare for that fight. He needs a full training camp because he's the champ, he's a pound for pound king. Everybody knows Alexander Volkanovski. You can't just run in like that and fight for the belt, right? But, you know, he's Alexander Volkanovski. He broke his hand during Max Holloway's fight, and the doctor gave him a go. He said he can go and fight, so I think he's good to go. My whole problem is, I don't like it. I don't like Alexander Volkanovski going right away to fight for the belt. I understand that he's a backup fighter. I understand that he's getting paid for it. I understand all that. But what if he loses? What if Alexander Volkanovski go out there and get destroyed by either Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev? What happens? His legacy will tarnish. He will, you know, the pound for pound, he might go down, and pound for pound, like, who knows? Israel Adesanya might go up. Remember, Israel Adesanya was doing well, like, in his own division, in the middleweight, and he moved up in division to fight Jan Blachowicz, and he lost Jan Blachowicz due to his terrible wrestling. Now he figured out that he is a terrible wrestler. He needs to work in his wrestling. What if Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev? Who knows? exposes Alexander Volkanovski. We know that he's been destroying a lot of people. The first person right now in his division is Max Holloway. Max Holloway, he beat Max Holloway 3 times. That shows you how good it is. So what happens? I don't really think it's better for him to move up right now and fight for the belt. Because we know that regardless of him moving up right now, he can still move up, fight for the belt. The way he's going right now, I don't like it. I think it's better for him to slow down and allow Dariush. Dariush is already ranked in the lightweight division. He's 6th. Allow Dariush to be the backup fighter. He might do a tremendous job. I think it is better for him to do that. If he beats Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev, then Volkanovski, maybe next year, in the first quarter of next year, we might see Volkanovski and someone. But right now, I don't think it's the right idea to do it. There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages, right, towards being a backup fighter. You know, he wants to be a 2-division champion. A lot of UFC fighters have been through 2-division champions. Conor McGregor, Henry Cejudo, Amanda Nunes, Daniel Cormier, DC. They're all 2-division champions, and the list goes on and on. There's not, like, you can't go higher than this. He's the pound for pound king. He's #1 in the world, right? If he loses, Israel Adesanya, who knows, might go up, right? He might be #1 because Israel Adesanya already lost once in the UFC. He lost against Jan Blachowicz. If he loses, his ranking go down. His next fight will never have that kind of power anymore because he already lost to someone. Right? I think it's better for him to train. UFC should give him a full training camp for him to train, you know, to move up in weight, because it's not going to be easy. Lightweight hit harder than featherweight, so it won't be easy for him. The way he punches, I can remember, you know, people say he's a great boxer. He's so good on the floor. He's so good every angle. He might move up in weight now, and people will see him as amateur. So his power will no longer be there. He wouldn't be that fast as he used to be. So there's a lot of disadvantages for him moving up to be a backup fighter. UFC always do that. They always have a backup just in case something goes wrong. They always have a plan B just in case something goes wrong. You know, UFC 67, Travers Luther versus Anderson Silva. Travers missed weight, so they have a backup fighter. Joe and Max Hughes. Joe misses weight. Romero versus Robert Whittaker. Romero missed weight by 1 pound. So it happens, you know, in the UFC, like people missing weight here and there. I understand. And Charles Oliveira's last fight, he missed weight by ½ a pound. That's why he's not a champion. That's why the belt wasn't given to him. UFC takes weight seriously. Like, if you can't make weight, if you can't cut weight, if you can't put in the work, the backup will step in. Like, whoever is the backup will step in. That's the way UFC works. I think Charles Oliveira will make weight this time around. I think Islam Makhachev will make weight this time around. I know Charles misses by ½ a pound when he fought Justin Gaethje. He destroyed Justin Gaethje. ½ a pound. People might think ½ a pound is nothing, but UFC take it so serious. Like, it's a lot for UFC. I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think that's the way to go. So what do you guys think? Is it good for Alexander Volkanovski to be a backup fighter, or is it better for him to just wait for a little bit, and whoever wins the fight, he can move up in weight and fight the champion? That's the way to do it. That's the way I think is the best way to do it. I don't really know, but Alexander Volkanovski is a champion. He's a pound for pound king. He understands his body better. He just went into a war with Max Holloway. I think he fully understands that he can take either or both guys, right? But the odds are coming out saying that he's not the favorite. Alexander Volkanovski is not the favorite. If he goes into the fight, he's gonna lose. The odds are saying, I'm not saying it. So there's a lot of disadvantages out there. Like, there's a lot of discouragement out there. Let's see the fight between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. The winner, he can move up and fight the winner. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to Oliveira TV. Show some love. Let's go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.